about to build the boys. We now have issue 110 of Hachette's Build the Titanic. Now in this one, we are completing the hull plates. Still need some keel, but we're completing the hull plates. So using the plate that we got in the last one, we get a plate in this one. We're going to put those two plates together, and then we're going to attach them to the ship. And we're going to be using Allen bolts. So you know how I feel about Allen bolts. Honestly, if I ever meet Allen bolts, I'm gonna have to be restrained because I'll just stove his head in. But you know what? I don't think there's a jury in the land that can convict me, because I think all I'd have to do is walk into the court and say the guy's name's Allen Bolt, and anyone that's ever done any kind of DIY or IKEA or modelling or anything would go, it's fair enough. That's fair. That's fair. Case dismissed, and that'd be it. I digress. This is exciting because we are doing what we've all wanted, a complete hull for so long. So the plates are complete in this one. We've got a keel section to go in the next one. Then we have a large piece to go on the back to finish out the month. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. It's light work. I say that. It's Allen bolts, and I'm not about to get into the screwdrivers. We're going to have to use an Allen key. Allen Key, there's another guy as well, right? You'd think that you go easy on him. If you hate Allen Bolt, Allen Key would be your mate because he helps you out with Allen Bolt. But it's like, no, you're unnecessary, Allen Key. If it wasn't for Allen Bolt, your existence wouldn't be necessary. At the end of this one, we'll be talking about another kind of supervillain. In a expedition is planned for to visit the Titanic wreckage in August of this year. I don't agree with it, and I doubt many of you will either. But we'll talk about that. We've already spoken about it before. I think it was the end of last year. We spoke about what was going on with salvage of the Titanic, and it's an interesting story that will be decided in May. But we'll talk about that at the end. Without further ado, let's get this one open. Let's see what we're working with, and let's get this one built. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. Let's get on with it. Okay, so let's take a looky-see at what we get inside 110. 110 feels like a landmark. I mean, most part works have ended at this point. So you get the 100-piece part works, the 110-piece part works. So we're on 140 with this one. So let's have a look at what we got, right? So we got Allen bolts. We got some normal screws. Hey! We have some plates that will cover some of the work we're going to be doing. And then we have our actual hull plate here. Take a look. There we go. Lovely stuff. Right. So this is a mirror image of what we've done. Now, I actually prefer the way we're doing this, because the last time, if you can remember, we installed the one piece, then the other after. We're going to build this. So we're going to take the part that we had in 109, which is this part here, and we're going to attach these together. Then we're going to attach it to the hull. So we got all that prepped up, and let's get that built. So what we're going to do is take this piece here, and we'll attach it to this piece here, like so. Now, what really gets me about this one is we're going to put this in with 3 LM screws. They're Allen screws, man. There's just no reason for it. There's no reason for it. That's almost sadistic, but okay. All right, that's what it's telling us to do. That's what we'll do. But the good news is I can get to these ones with my screwdriver. Now, never have I appreciated a free gift more than the screwdriver set they gave us with Titanic, because I can actually use it. Normally I get these little screwdrivers and they don't last very long, but this one's been bloody useful for doing this nightmare experience. Right, so there we go. See, look how lovely that is. I wouldn't have a problem with them. If all of them were like this, I wouldn't have an issue. I think my problem with the bolt is the fact that when we put these in, it's always at a weird angle, or you can only turn the Allen key like half a turn, and it's just takes forever. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You can hear, I mean, I'm normally pretty chipper. I'm normally quite happy-go-lucky, and it's strange what gets you. But everyone's got a weakness, I suppose. Mine happens to be the bloody Allen bolt. That's 2. Now we have a third one. I'm just going to go into here and then have the challenge of figuring out how the bloody hell I'm going to film screwing this into the hull, because I haven't got a clue. It's going to be interesting. So that's it. That's the last It's the last, it is, yeah. Oh, it's quite emotional. That's the last of the plates of the Titanic. So I'm going to bring up the hull and we're going to screw these in. Now let me take a look at what we're doing. Right, so it's going to attach it and fold in, and then we 2 Allen bolts. It's only 2. It's only 2. Okay, it's just 2. It's just 2. You never know, I might be able to get one in with a screwdriver. I hope so. Let's bring the hull up and see if we can make this work. Okay, so hold on. Yeah, I ain't sponsored by them. Let's get away. Right, so this is going to slot into here like so. Right, now we've got to put 2 Allen bolts in, one here and one here. Now I reckon I hope I can get one in with a screwdriver. If I can, that'd make me so happy. So are you going to be a happy boy now or sad boy? I reckon probably the latter, but let's have a look, see. He's a happy boy. Ha ha ha! Yeah. Scott won. Allen bolts 97, but it's a win. It's a win, right? So we are going to have to put the other one in. I'm going to have to use that annoying key to do it, and that's going to go just down here. So I'm going to get that one in. Then we're going to flip it around. I'm going to put some normal screws for normal people in the other side. That's screwed in, and you're not going to believe this, right? Check this out. Check this out. Look, right? See here? I went like this. And I went through there and I was able to just rotate it freely. Can you believe it? That is Scott 2, Allen bolts 97. 2 wins in a row. Right, so we're going to flip this one around. We've got some normal screws for normal people that go in this side, so let's get that done. So flipping this one around, that's how we're now looking. We're going to put in 4 AM screws into 1, 2, 3, 4. Pulling this together, make sure it's nice and firm. And then we are going to have some plates to pop over those screw holes. Then we'll be done. All 4 of those screws in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to cover up these plates here. We'll start with the first one. Put that one in. Whoop. Probably help if I got the right way around, wouldn't it? Yeah. Be a lot more helpful. There we go. So there's 1. And then 2. So we go fat, thin, like we did the last time. Here's number 2. It's going to pop in there like so. So that looks like that. Number 3. Just got to make sure I get these the right way around. It's going to go in there. Oh no, it's not. That's going to go in the bottom. Oh, we go fat, thin, fat, thin. What's the right way around? There we go. That's that one in. Then our last one here is going to slot into there, whether it likes it or not. There we go. And that's how we're now looking. So now you can have a look at the hull and get an idea of exactly, wow, look at that. That is ridiculous. But that is how that section is now looking, and it is looking lovely. Let's have a chat. That makes me happy. I'm happy with this. Right, let's try and... Oh my God. Dear Lord. That's how we're now looking. Hey! Just look at this thing, man. I can't even get it into... Can I get it into frame? Maybe. Oh my God. It's big. It's really big. And it looks beautiful. Now, in the next one, we are putting in the final keel section. Now, I said that was our final plate. I just realised it isn't, because we do have a plate that will cover the engine room window. So we will have a plate that goes in there. When we get that, I have no idea. But we will have one that goes there. In the next one, we're putting our final piece of keel. That really is our final piece of keel. And I'm excited, man. It's becoming real, isn't it? It's becoming very real that our Titanic is nearing her maiden voyage. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. That's all for the build instructions. If you are just coming around for those, thank you for stopping by. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you stick around for our Titanic talk, we're talking about RMS Titanic Incorporated. Now, if you don't know who they are the people that own the salvaging rights to the Titanic. They are a company that it's up to them what they trade. So they can trade artifacts from the floor. They are also the same companies that do these submarine tours. Well, used to do submarine tours to the Titanic. In 2019, they managed to get an okay to have an expedition to the Titanic with the intention of taking the Marconi, the radio, basically. They want the Marconi. They're hell-bent on it. The reason why they didn't go was because of the pandemic. So the pandemic pretty much stopped that dead. That was the end of that. Subsequently, to fund the company, they sell trips down to the Titanic to very wealthy people. And it funds their research, if that's what we're going to call it, which is what happened to the ill-fated Titan sub. So the expedition to rescue the Marconi, liberate, or steal the Marconi, is not going to be manned. It's not a manned expedition. It's going to be sent with robots to basically claw and grab it out. Now, there is rules on what they can and can't do. One of the rules is that they can't take anything that's bolted down. So they can't remove anything to get to it. They can take loose artifacts, which everyone's kind of fine with. So when it comes to coal and things like that, fill your boots. It's all over the floor. Get as much as you want. Plates and things like that, fine. When it came to actually getting into the Titanic and taking things, that's where we start having issues, because the problem was with damage. So it's already fragile as it is. And it's been decided and agreed between the United States and Great Britain that it's a burial site. It's a rest site is what it is. And no one's going to salvage it. No one's going to pick from it. Well, that's not enough for RMS Titanic Inc. And they've gone to court to get permission to do it. Now, they haven't been granted permission to do it, but they're going to do it anyway, because they would like that law overturned. The law that states that you can't pillage from the Titanic, they would like it put into it that it isn't law, it's an advisory. And that's right. So basically, they just want to go and pick. That's what they want to do. Because again, if you have an exhibition and the big piece is your exhibition piece, yeah, people will come see it, they will. But to get people coming back, well, you need more pieces, don't you? And that's why they really want the Marconi. The Marconi has got something slightly ghoulish about it now, because it would have been what somebody was hammering away at to the last minute, please help us. And that's why the Marconi is that poignant. And again, the Titanic nerd in me wants to see it. If I could see that Marconi with a light on it, and I'd love to see it. But the human in me is saying, no, it stays where it is. It stays where it is. That's its resting place. That stays where it is. I don't need to see it. I'd like to see it, but I don't need to see it. A replica, show me a replica, it's fine. You don't need to disturb that site. You don't need to pick the graves for the entertainment of people in Las Vegas. You don't, because that's what it is. It's for a Las Vegas tourist attraction. We don't need to do that. Let's not be those people. So it's in a very messy legal battle at the moment, where they're basically saying there is no law that says we can't do this. And I said, well, no, there's laws that say, well, there's no law that says you can't do a lot of things. Ethically, it doesn't mean you should, though, does it? You know? Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? I really, really hope they don't go through with it, but I think they're going to. So watch the news, basically. So in May, we'll find out exactly what's happening. I'll tell you on the channel once we've got an update on whether or not they've been okayed or not. But you'd think that after the Titan submersible disaster, that maybe they'd rethink their strategies. But I think what that actually did was it gave them really bad press. And I think they think bringing a Marconi up and going, hey, look what we got, will give them good press. I don't think it will. I don't think it will. But again, if you're watching this and you're building one of these, or you have an interest in the Titanic, then you're probably going to feel the same. However, if you're just some tourist in Vegas and you say, oh, a Titanic exhibition, we got an afternoon to burn, those are different people, you know, they're not going to feel the same way. So it's sad. I really hope they don't. The Marconi should just stay where it is. It just should. That's its resting place. And I don't believe for 1 second it's loose. So they keep saying, oh, it's loose. I don't believe that the Marconi was loose. That thing was definitely bolted down to a table that was bolted to the floor. I don't think you would risk having that, being able to slide around all over the place. Do you? That makes no sense to me. It would be anchored to a wall or whatever it was. Where this has all come about from is, if you remember those amazing 3D images that they did of the scan, well, ever since that, this company's eyes have lit up, because as I said before, we can now see where the mastodon tooth necklace is. Blatantly, you can see it's there. So I assure you, when they get the marconi, they're definitely going after the necklace as well, because it is just loose. It's on the side of the ship. You can see it, but now they know where it is. So they can go straight to it and bam, we'll have that. Thank you very much. And that's what's going to happen now, because those scans were so good. They can see exactly, right, oh, sweet, go over there and get that. We can see they've seen a case of champagne on the pictures. They've seen there's an entire case of champagne. I assure you they're going after the case of champagne. So as good as those photos were, it's just basically rang the dinner bell for profiteers, which is sad, isn't it, really? But we'll see. We'll see. And as I said, when I find out, you'll find out, because I'll let you know exactly what's happened with it. And that's regardless. So even if this model finishes in October, even if a year from now, this is still ongoing, I'll keep you up to date on it. So you'll always know exactly what's going on with that, because I think it's interesting, and I'd want to know. That's all for this one. We'll be back very soon with 111. We'll be fitting the final piece of keel to our model. That's all from me. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. Please remember to like and subscribe. But until next time, take care, and I'll see you very, very soon.